MPWF fan base, it is now time for our main event of Sunday Night Metal, and here comes Brian Adams. Now tonight he is not accompanied by Michelle McCool, because Michelle McCool is resting up after her matchup with Chandrella Johnson on MPWF SmackDown, but Brian Adams is more than capable to win this matchup tonight by himself, and Brian Adams has been extremely impressive in recent weeks here in the MPWF. I mean, his matchup with Sean Stevens at the Great American Bash was phenomenal. A great submission match we saw between these two. On MPWF Superstars, he had an extremely impressive showing against MXZ, including his showing at the Welcome to YouTube show, and now he finds himself competing against former United States champion Lemar James Jackson. Brian Adams is definitely improved since leaving numbers 1, 2, and 3, but tonight you want to talk about a man who is improved here in the MPWF. Look at the new Lemar James Jackson, ladies and gentlemen. We spoke to him before this show, and Lemar James Jackson said that he's just happy to be here in the MPWF. He said, you know, he went back to his hood when he was wrestling up for his knee injury, and he said he cannot go back. He doesn't want to go back. He says that this is his home, and he's been training with the University of Minnesota wrestling team, and he's been preparing to up his game here in the MPWF. Lemar James Jackson says the brands are now back together again, and Lemar James Jackson is better than ever, and LJ Squared is going to show why exactly he is hot. And we're going to see that tonight, as this is going to be a match between these two big bulls. These two young guys are going to go at it, Brian Adams and Lemar James Jackson. And now we explain about both these men. Lemar James Jackson is a former United States champion, had great matches with Lethal Mathematics, Tyler Fell, and Richard Hawkins on MPWF Raw. Brian Adams wants to become the YouTube champion. Brian Adams wants that singles championship in his career. Look at him throwing away the wrist of Lemar James Jackson. And Brian Adams was able to outlast his two brothers, his two triplet brothers, numbers 2 and 3, as they have been released from the MPWF. What a big punch there by Brian Adams. Now Brian Adams now choking away at Lemar James Jackson. Like I said before, Lemar James Jackson in trouble here. Brian Adams will do anything it takes to beat his opponents. If it means bending the rules a little bit, Brian Adams will bend the rules. And now he throws Lemar James Jackson into the turnbuckle. And now what a dropkick there by Brian Adams. And now Brian Adams kicking away at Lemar James Jackson. And we saw on the Welcome to YouTube show that knee was still a factor for Lemar James Jackson. We saw, another poor screen tonight. My goodness. Whoever's filming this is not doing a good job. Lemar James Jackson, was struggling when Joe Eagle went for that figure 4 leg lock. But what a roll over there by Lemar James Jackson. Nice reversal, now going for the waist lock. Now Lemar James Jackson with that mat slam circling around, and he learned that from the Minnesota Wrestling Troupe. With that armbar, wrenching back on the elbow and the wrist. And now what's smart about using that armbar by Lemar James Jackson, that completely neutralizes the pay dirt move we've seen Brian Adams use. He pinned MXZ with it on Superstars. Now if his elbow is hyperextended, Brian Adams is unable to wrap his arm around the neck of Lemar James Jackson. Therefore the pay dirt is ineffective and it is null. And now what a bulldog there by Brian Adams. Now Brian Adams' best bet is probably to work at that knee. Like I said before, that knee I don't think is 100%, and if he can keep neutralizing that knee, Lemar James Jackson is going to have to take some more time off, and that would be another big victory there for Brian Adams. Now Brian Adams heading up to the top rope, looking to descend there, senton, and connects. What a move there by Brian Adams. And Brian Adams going for the cover. 1, 2, and 3. No, Lemar James Jackson gets the shoulder up. Brian Adams now Irish whip, sending Jackson back into the ropes. And now what a hip toss there by Brian Adams, and this guy is impressive. And now what a big time clothesline there. Adams taking down Lemar James Jackson, going for the cover. 1, 2, and now a kick out there by Lemar James Jackson. So Brian Adams has definitely been turning heads here in the MPWF, and another clothesline there by this big man. He is a physical specimen. And now Irish whip, sending Lemar James Jackson back into the ropes, and now setting him up on the top turnbuckle. And now Brian Adams there showing off, getting in the face of Lemar James Jackson. And now what is this? Setting up for that rope palm jawbreaker there, and Lemar James Jackson could be knocked out with that move. Brian Adams now just waiting for Jackson to get up, looking to finish him off now here with a waist lock. And what a snapmare over there by Lemar James Jackson. Now kicking back in the gut. Big time knee there by Lemar James Jackson. And now once Jackson starts flying those knees out of nowhere, that's where the momentum picks up for LJ Squared. And now Lemar James Jackson here. Beautiful German suplex there. And I gotta thank the Minnesota wrestling team there for teaching Lemar James Jackson the stuff he's using right now. Lemar James Jackson into the turnbuckle. Big time clothesline. Telling Bryan Adams, you want to see power? Watch me. And now Jackson Irish Whip, sending Bryan Adams right to the outside of the ring. And if that happens at the Royal Rumble, Bryan Adams will be eliminated. And both these men are going to be in the Royal Rumble matchup. And now picking him up on his shoulders, here comes a running power slam on the outside of the ring. And now Lemar James Jackson doing the push-ups, showing off his strength. So both these men extremely strong. And now Bryan Adams being thrown into the steel steps. I mean, experienced exactly what his girlfriend experienced on SmackDown. And now Bryan Adams fights back there with a net break on the outside of the ring. Quite a few matches tonight taking place on the outside of the ring. A lot of Dagger versus Tyrone Fitzgerald took place outside of the ring. And Bryan Adams throwing Lemar James Jackson. Oh no, I thought he was going to run in the ring and let the count go. But instead wants to pound away at Jackson. And now with that headbutt in the corner. And now Bryan Adams picking Lemar James Jackson back up. Now throwing him head first into the steel ring post and all. Another shot there, bouncing head first in the post. Now Bryan Adams heading up to the top rope and now jumps back inside the ring. Going for a cover, thinking better of it. Now that's a smart move there by Bryan Adams. On only experience can tell Bryan Adams to go for a pin there after that situation. And Bryan Adams twisting away. And now look at this. Oh, beautiful there by Bryan Adams. Lucha style. And a man that size shouldn't be using the Lucha style, but Bryan Adams does anyways. And we talked to Bryan Adams not before this show, but after SmackDown, and Bryan Adams said that he was unhappy that Systematic Carnage has got a shot at the YouTube Championship at the Royal Rumble. Bryan Adams says that it should be him facing Lethal Mathematics. Oh, what a T-bone suplex there, and the eyes rolled in the back of his head. And Lemar James Jackson now saying that he should be in that YouTube Championship matchup. And what a big time clothesline there by Lemar James Jackson. And Jackson now picking Adams back up, and now looking to rebound off the turnbuckle now. No, wow. What a beautiful suplex there by Lemar James Jackson. And now Lemar James Jackson saying that he should be going for that YouTube Championship, but he has the opportunity to be a part of the Royal Rumble, and what a knee there. And Lemar James Jackson can live his dream, and how big would the celebration be in his hood if he wins the Royal Rumble and goes to WrestleMania and becomes the undisputed champion. Lemar James Jackson now feeling the momentum on his side, and now, oh, what a knife hand chop there by Lemar James Jackson, going 360 with that shot. LJ Squared now throwing Bryan Adams back into the turnbuckle. Now setting him up on the top rope. Lemar James Jackson now setting Bryan Adams in a precarious position here. And now heading to the top. And now what is this? Oh, far away slam off the top rope. What strength there by Lemar James Jackson. Strength and balance to pull off a maneuver like that. And now kick to the gut. Now, oh, another knee there by Lemar James Jackson. And he's hitting those big time knees on Bryan Adams. You can see Bryan Adams looked like he was knocked into next Wednesday. And now Jackson setting up for that beautiful B&W powerbomb there. What a move there by Lemar James Jackson. That is just straight phenomenal. And another kick to the gut. And now, oh, what a stunner there by Lemar James Jackson. Just jacking his jaw with that stunner. And now here comes the scissor kick. Time impact there by LJ Squared. The scissor kick by Lemar James Jackson. Now going for the cover. And is that it? Can Bryan Adams kick out? 2, 3. And Lemar James Jackson is victorious. Guys, I gotta say, that was one hell of a matchup here tonight on Metal. And you can see here, look at this strength and balance it took here to pull off a maneuver like that fall away slam. Absolutely phenomenal. Just wonderful here. And now look at this stunner. Just turning Bryan Adams inside out. And this scissor kick, the velocity of the impact here. Look at the feet. Just connected the back of Bryan Adams' head there by Lemar James Jackson. And then he went for the 1-2-3, and Lemar James Jackson was victorious. And Lemar James Jackson continuously moving forward here in the MPWF, and he wants to advance here. Like we said, in his horizons could be a YouTube championship shot, but the main thing he's got to think about is his matchup at the Royal Rumble, the 30-man Royal Rumble matchup. Can Lemar James Jackson be victorious at the Royal Rumble? Can he live his dream of main eventing WrestleMania? There's 29 other guys who have the same dream to main event WrestleMania, and Lemar James Jackson has just got to throw out every single one of them. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this was one hell of an evening here tonight on MPWF Metal, and I'd like to thank everybody here for watching. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and good night.